Up next on Human Services Forum, local Lions clubs offer free vision screening using a high-tech tool that fascinates children as young as 6 months of age. Parents and children tell the story of adoption in their own words during a recent celebration. And get ready to bid online for a holiday auction to help homeless families. Human Services Forum begins right now. Hi, I'm Jan Callahan, and welcome to the Forum. Strabismus, myopia, amblyopia, anisometropia. Are telling me it's right? These are big words for common eye problems that are, if they're not detected early, can make a critical difference in a child's development. Members of the District 24D Lions Clubs are helping our preschoolers in a very big way. And Dr. John Waters is a retired ophthalmologist, and he is also District Site Conservation Chair for the Lions Club 24D. Nancy Waters represents Children's Services, and Ingrid Alexic is a health coordinator for the CDI Head Start. Boy, that was a mouthful, but thank you for joining us for what is a really neat opportunity for children, and it's also, of course, in the interest of their future and current health. So we have and a device, as we call it, PediaVision is what it's called.
PediaVision, this is the PediaVision Spot. Okay. The newest device. There are two versions of it.
Oh, so now they have one they call Spot. This is good. So, and the device itself is interesting, but what you're doing with that device is more interesting still. So I don't know who would like to address this, but how long have you been offering free screenings, and where do people get them? And is this region-wide? Look, they can see well, but they just don't know how to.
Yeah, right. I'll go back in history. Actually, Lions have been screening preschool children in this area for more than 25 years.
Right.
But in looking for a better way to do it, quicker and easier, is how we, a few years ago, discovered the PediaVision.
Okay, fine. And the PediaVision does screening in a faster way. Ingrid, you are with Head Start. You are dealing with preschoolers, so you saw this and called me because you were just, you just thought this was really neat.
It's really awesome because oftentimes what happens is when children go in to have a physical, one section of the physical actually asks for a vision screening. And most of the time, the doctor's offices are unable to actually get it because the children are small. They're 3- and 4-year-olds, so they will not sit still. So this machine is unbelievable because it only takes 1 second. With Miss Waters, she is so awesome to work with because we have approximately 1,501 children. And so for them to come in and screen all of our children, I mean, it's just tremendous. I just can't say how thankful we are.
Oh, and we did it in the first 45 days of school, which I'm really proud of.
All right, that tells you something right there, that
yeah.
The time element is so important too, not only in the terms of seconds, minutes, hours, but in terms of just days and months.
Well, it has been our goal to screen children 5 years old and under. And we've had these machines in progress with the screening in about a year and a month. And during that time, we've screened over 8,000 children. In fact, it's almost 8,400 children. And out of those 8,400 children, 1,800 of those children have had some issue that has indicated a referral. When we did the Head Start programs, the referral rate was a bit higher, and we were curious about that. But the indications are that our screenings are accurate. We're just delighted to be able to offer this service. When we started the project, we had no idea we would end up with 8 of these devices. Our goal was to have 3, 1 in each of our 3 regions in the district. Now we have 1 in each zone, and there are 9 zones in our district. We have 8 machines, and we have another way of screening in the 9th zone. So we're delighted to do it. Schools don't normally screen until 1st grade, and it's important to screen these children by the time they're 5 years old, because by that time the indication would be there that there is a need for a referral, and if it isn't addressed by then, the ability to correct that remarkably diminishes, and by the time they're 10, it's almost too late. So our service, we feel our service is really important, and we want to be out there screening children.
Great, and you've gotten the grants, and they have been
Yes.
coming, and that's, you know, in this day and age, it's very heartening to hear that, you know, there is money available to be able to promote this. Dr. Waters, you, as an ophthalmologist, and you have certainly some knowledge of what the importance is of having early screening for children.
It's actually critical, because most people don't understand that vision is learned. We learn how to walk, we learn how to talk, we learn how to see. And it's especially critical in the first several years of life that we find any cause that might delay that learning. Because as Lai and Nancy mentioned, between the ages of 5 and 10, we lose the ability to learn how to see. And so this does two things. It can find any child that needs glasses, yes, but we want to find a child, a very young child, with a condition that can let them see normally with both eyes for the rest of their life.
Right. And that these can screen children as young as 6 months, is that right?
6 months, we can screen children that could never have been screened before. Special needs, any child that is nonverbal, we can detect. Well, just a couple of weeks ago, a 17-month-old child was detected with what we think is a cataract.
Wow.
So that would never have been discovered until much later,
Right.
probably too late.
And early detection on that is definitely
Absolutely.
important.
Absolutely.
Well, a little earlier before we came on the show, we did some little taping beforehand because we wanted to demonstrate just how this works. So we just want you to know, when I said that it's fascinating to children, it may be to you too, but Lion Nancy Waters was she was the one demonstrating, and her subject was her husband, Dr. Waters. He is not a child, we realize that, but you know, he was a wonderful
He's a great
patient, and we wanted to have her explain on this tape how it works, and it's really neat, so just take a look.
To do the scan with the SPOT device, I only need to enter the child's birth date, position the device 1 meter away, and the machine will tell me that I'm too far away or too close. And just in that length of time, when I'm in the right spot, the machine takes an instant reading. It will tell me whether or not the reading is a referral or whether it's a good reading. In this case, my husband is a referral, and I knew that already, but it would tell me if a child had any of the causes that might lead to amblyopia or lazy eye. It's done in 1 second. It also prints a refractive error, and it tells us immediately, without the human error factor involved, because this is done automatically, that the child could be referred to an eye doctor. And it's just that quick and that accurate.
Okay, well, the actual machine, if you want to call it that, or device, is curious looking, but most people liken it to other things. It's lightweight, it's not very large, and children listen to the little birds, I guess, and you get them for that second that they need.
And also, when we find a child that is a referral, we have a letter that goes to the parent, and we print the referral on the back of the letter to the parent and tell them, when they take their child to the eye doctor, to hand that piece of paper to the doctor. And many of the doctors are amazed that we are able to give them that kind of information.
That's just great. And for the kids that were screened through Head Start, how did they respond to this screening device? Were they curious? Did they talk about it?
They were curious, but what's wonderful is the teachers prepared them ahead of time that we were going to take a picture of their eyes, and just to ensure that they were going to be able to learn better. And what I think is especially important is the parents were so grateful, because some of them never even considered at such a young age that their child would have an actual vision problem. And the Lions Club was so wonderful, because in addition to the children in our Head Start centers, they also allowed their siblings to come in, and they checked their eyes as well.
Wow.
And it's just so important because think about it. You know, we talk about school all the time, but if a child isn't healthy, then they don't have the ability to learn.
This is true. And that's what it's all about.
Right.
One other thing, and that is, before we end, is the cost of having something like this done does figure into this a great deal. That is part of the motivation, as I understand it, that it's not prohibitively expensive for some people, but for a lot of people with children, it could be the difference between having it done or not. And in this case, you're providing a free service for something that could cost, if the particular
well, some pediatricians, yes, some pediatricians have them in their offices, but there is a charge for the service, and most of them really don't have the device in their offices to use.
And you're making sure that
it's
people
free.
know about it.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
exactly.
Great news to share, and I hope that people take advantage of it and benefit.
Yes.
That you know they will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, every year in November, the Norfolk Department of Human Services takes time to thank the men and women who opened their homes and their hearts to a very special group of children. And this year, more than 70 men, women, children, social workers, city attorneys, and child advocates turned out to celebrate.
I'd like to welcome all of you and thank you for coming today to participate in our favorite program. Today is the day that we celebrate being chosen. And for the kids, first of all, we start out and say congratulations. We honor you because you have formed the core of a family, not because of chance, but because your parents yearned to find you. With hopeful hearts, they searched for you. And with great joy, they found you. And when they found you, they chose you over all others.
Adoption Day may only come once a year, but this ceremony honoring Norfolk's expanded families marks the beginning of a lifetime of memories. The children, many of them siblings, came by way of the Norfolk foster care system. Not all of them could be together then, but on this day, they were once again whole. 9-year-old Shaylee Corbin spoke on behalf of her sisters Paige and Autumn and brother Devin.
I love being adopted because it's such a nice family and everyone loves you and the family. I love the Corbins because they're so nice and they give us enough food and water. Because a long time ago, we never used to have food or water. We had to go hunt for it somewhere we could find any. So the Corbins are good people to us because we have our needs. And I love to color and draw because it's fascinating. It's cool. And I just think the Corbins are really good because we just get all of our needs and we get a lot of love and care.
Each family took their turn in the spotlight to relish the congratulations, the applause, and the sense of unity and shared relief that filled the courtroom. Those sentiments spilled out into the reception hall after the ceremony. Lorraine Cortland's 3 daughters, sisters Shantavian, Tamaya, and Tiffany, are the second group of siblings that she has adopted.
Today is so nice because, you know, you talk about permanency, and today seals it.
Priscilla McMillan is now the proud mother of Brianna, Melody, and Hen, and yes, they're sisters too.
I'm an only child, so I grew up being an only child. Then I had 5 children of my own, and my baby is 40, so after that I decided to do foster care. So doing foster care, it became permanent care.
Queen Taylor, who already has a 15-year-old adopted son, brought brothers Donovan and Jamonte into the family circle.
After I got into it, I really liked it and wanted to make a difference. I like it's challenging, but you got to have the patience and the love.
There are not always a lot of opportunities to be happy with what goes on in this building, so this is one of them. This is maybe our favorite one.
Well, July 1st, 17 families have adopted 24 children in Norfolk, ranging in age from 2 to 17. Of those children, 7 groups of siblings have been able to stay together. If you would like to learn more about foster and adoptive parenting, contact Nancy Brock with our resource development team at 664-6079 or visit us online at www.norfolk.gov/human services or look us up on Facebook. Well, don't go away. The auction is underway online, and your participation or donation can make a world of difference for local families in need of a place to call home.
Have you heard? The U.S. Treasury is phasing out paper checks for Social Security, VA, and other federal benefit payments and going electronic. If you currently receive federal benefits by paper check, you will need to switch to direct deposit or to the Treasury recommended Direct Express Debit MasterCard. If you plan to apply for federal benefits soon, you'll want to decide which electronic payment option is right for you. Visit godirect.org to learn more or to make the switch today.
The Dwelling Place is an ecumenical shelter based in Norfolk that provides much-needed respite for homeless families. And community support is a big part of making their mission a success. A holiday auction is now underway, and Elizabeth Janik, who is the event chairperson, and Sid Bridge, who is he's a partner with the Harbor Group Dominion Tower. They're both joining me with details of this annual fundraiser, which is a holiday auction online. Thank you for coming on and sharing the news. This auction has been underway for a few days now, and it will continue through how long?
The online auction lasts from November 17th through December 8th,
okay.
So it's 3 weeks long, and it is basically a silent auction that is online. Anyone who has online access can participate and place a bid on a number of different items that will all benefit the Dwelling Place.
Okay, so the online auction gives people a chance to kind of have easy access to this, all these items and experiences that are being offered on site. Before we get into a lot of this, I do want to mention that, you know, Sid Bridge is with Dominion Tower, the Harbor Group, and Dominion Tower Harbor Group is providing something very important, and that is not necessarily what's online, but it's physical space.
That's right. Well, what can a real estate company do but provide space?
It's true.
Absolutely. Harbor Group is pleased to have a 3-year-long relationship with the Dwelling Place, and it's an honor to us to be able to help just in whatever little way we can. That includes secure storage before the event for all the items. There's a lot of items, and then retail space in the lobby of Dominion Tower with a glass-fronted retail. It's very nice. You can see all the items displayed there, plus a monitor that shows all the items that didn't fit in the room. And then also we allow the use of the lobby for the reception at the after the auction.
Okay, great. And that reception happens, I guess, at the culmination on the 8th? Or
on December 11th, which is the Sunday after the auction, from 4 to 6 p.m., we have a closing celebration, sort of a wine and cheese dessert reception in the lobby of Dominion Tower. And so it's an opportunity for the winning bidders to pick up their items and take them home. And we also have a last chance sale then for any items that haven't been claimed. And we've also saved a few very special items for which bidding will continue live at that closing celebration. We have a cocktail cruise for 6 people in Virginia Beach, an original artwork by local artist Nancy Ulrich, and probably a few other surprises as well.
All right, so let's talk about these items. Now, there's some things that you can find online that are physical. You can touch them and you can take them with you. So can you just run through a few things that might be available?
Sure, absolutely. Everything that is up for bidding in the auction has been donated very generously by local artists or local businesses. We have a lot of event tickets from organizations like the Arts Festival, the Virginia Stage Company. We have gift certificates from local eateries, Fellini's, Why Not Pizza, some different establishments in Town Center. And we do have, like you said, a lot of things you can actually look at and touch. We've got some beautiful artworks. We have some nice jewelry sets, earrings, necklaces. We even have an antique chair, some antique dolls, a number of really sort of unique, one-of-a-kind items.
Okay. And, of course, the Dominion Tower, there are businesses in the Dominion Tower who are part of
Absolutely. One of the very nice things about our partnership with Dominion Tower is that all of the businesses that are located in Dominion Tower have also donated something. So we have gift certificates from the restaurant Vintage Kitchen, from Bloom the Florist, from all of the different eateries at Dominion Tower, and even the opportunity for a professional car wash.
Well, see, and I didn't know they had car washes over at, at that location, but it must be, that's nice to have all the businesses take part in something like this.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a hard sell, is it?
Not a hard sell at all. Not a hard sell at all. And we want people to come by and take a look at everything. That's why we have the space available for them. And there's so much to see, and everybody at Dominion Tower wants people to enjoy what's there.
Great, and so we can go online and look at some of these items that you mentioned, and we had put up the web address, and it is thedwellingplace.org, but there is a more specific address, and I don't know if you just want to say what that is, Elizabeth?
Sure, I think the address that's posted is the website for the shelter for the Dwelling Place, and you can get to our auction site through there, or you can go directly at biddingforgood.com. That's just all one word together, biddingforgood.com/dwelling place.
There you go, biddingforgood.com/dwelling place. So that takes you directly to the auction. If you're interested in perusing it, about 150 items, you say?
Just about, right.
Okay, and so we talked about the physical items, but you were telling me too, there were some things that were more like experiences than they were things you touch, and tell us how you came to that.
Absolutely. One of the nice things that we're doing this year is really sort of making the most of some of the unique talents and specialties of some of the shelter supporters. So we have some really interesting items up for bids, like the opportunity to have a glider ride with an experienced pilot, the opportunity to spend a half day with a Navy SEAL. You can even have your own personalized comedy roast with professional comedians. If you wanted to give a very special birthday or retirement present for a close friend or a coworker, you could organize that. That would take place at a local comedy club.
Does it come with black roses too? That would scare me. But they're clearly they're creative ideas, and I don't know. Bidding's already started. Have you seen anything in particular that seems to be
Sure.
more
Well,
popular
and
than others?
I think it's also important to mention that nearly all of the items are available at a buy it now price. So it is important to sort of look early and make sure your items are still there. But yeah, the bidding has started, and a lot of the gift certificates and things are always sort of an exciting draw at the very beginning. Restaurant opportunities, theater tickets, those kinds of things tend to go very quickly.
Well, great. So the event aspect is wonderful, and also just supports the community in general.
Right. And we are so grateful, really, for all of the different sponsors and donors that we have. It wouldn't be possible without the generous donations of all of the different businesses and arts organizations and local artists in the community.
Yeah, it just struck me that the Dwelling Place and the fact that they provide shelter has a partner of this online auction that does real estate. So I don't know if that was intentional, but I just went, what an interesting little connection. Right. The Dwelling Place itself has been in existence how long?
We celebrated our 25th anniversary last year, so we're 26 years old. We've supplied emergency shelters to families with children for that long. We have 2 shelter residences in Norfolk. We house families from Norfolk, but also from throughout Hampton Roads. We work very closely with the Norfolk Homeless Consortium, their Central Intake Center. We cooperate with other organizations in the area like 4Kids. But we do provide emergency shelter, so that's shorter term shelter, families needing a place to stay for perhaps 60 or 90 days. We provide counseling services. We have a child services coordinator on hand. We do everything that we can to see that families with children, could be single parents, could be two-parent families, grandparents. We do everything we can to make sure that these families can get back on their feet and are again in permanent housing soon after.
I know it's been a challenge, particularly in these times, to accommodate people. All the more reason that you know, the community consider supporting it even more through an online auction or coming over to the Dominion Tower and having a look-see for all the items that fit in this room.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the ones that don't, but
well, the ones that don't are on the computer monitor, so you can take a look while you're there.
Oh, okay, all right. There you go. So I remember rugs from last year, and those were kind of...
That's true. We do have lovely Oriental rugs that have been donated to us from the Mark Gunzenhauer's Rug and Carpet Superstore.
Okay, yeah, he has lots of rugs.
Lovely rugs. I think we have 5 online that are up for bidding.
Well, terrific. Well, we hope that the community will take part in this. It's a lot of fun, too, anyway, just to go online and see what's out there and what other creative ideas are up their sleeves. So this was great. Thanks for sharing great information.
Thank you.
And we know it will be a success. And I want to thank you for joining us. See you again next time. Bye-bye.